Fayetteville State. And sure enough, someone here at Fayetteville State called me Watt as well. And I'm like, what did you just say? And he thought he offended me. And I said, no, I said, it's just that my dad's friends called him Watt as well. So he said, well, no, I just made the middle part of Heawatha, which is easier to say, and just say Watt. And that's where it stuck. And that's how I came up with, when I was doing radio, DJ Watt.
Yeah.
And even though Heawatha does not have an actual meaning, my dad and I sharing this Watt story gave it the meaning of power, because of Watt being a unit of power. So that's, our name means power. So
okay, yes indeed. Well, you were a very powerful young man while you were here on campus.
Yes,
and
sir.
I still believe that you are, because you create a lot of legacy here at the university. So let's just give the folks a little bit of background about who is Heawatha Sanders.
Okay. Well, I really wasn't expecting this. Really, you put me on the
I know.
spot.
I always do. I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
That's cool.
Hold on. Let me take my ding.
That's cool. Well, basically what happened, what got me to Fayetteville State was my cousin, Daryl Armstrong. A lot of you guys probably didn't know him as Sky, but he spent several years, 14 years exactly in the NBA. Went to my guidance counselor at Ashbrook High School in Gastonia, best high school in the nation. And so I asked him, I said, hey, look, I'm trying to go where everyone's going. I want family, friends there, whatever. So he says, give Daryl a call. He's at Fayetteville State. So sure enough, I called Daryl. He invited me to come up and tour the campus, and I was absolutely depressed. The campus was smaller than my high school.
Wow.
The football stadium, there was no football stadium really. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of the students today, like I brought my nephew here, he's graduating. His name is Deshaun Tate. He graduates in spring, this coming spring. And I let him know, I said, you have no idea how good you've got it, man. Because the football players, I'm sure you remember this too, but they used to take the weights out of the building outside to work out. Because the gym was under the Lilly Gymnasium where the boiler room is, and it was just extremely hot. So I'm saying all of this, and I'm looking at my dad, and I'm like, you want me to come here? So Daryl convinced me to give it 2 years, as that old speech, give it 2 years, wherever you want to go after that. You know, I'm sure everyone's heard that speech. And I spent a lot of time at the Gainesville, Florida location, because my niece, her father played for the Gators before Spurrier came. So when I was visiting down there, saw all these high-rise dormitories, and I came here, you know, so I gave it 2 years. But the way I came over here to the Telecom Center, long story short, longer story shorter, Peter Rosa, your frat, he was my roommate. That time we had the Coach Capel basketball show that was going on, and he couldn't make it. He said, hey, Pete, just go over, they'll tell you what to do. Ask for Bridget Bonner-Lindsay. You know, she'll tell you what to do. Only thing you need to do is stand behind the camera. And I came over here, and it was history ever since. That's where I actively got involved. Did my internship at WKFT when they were downtown. And started working down there. In fact, Gilbert Bass, he was the weatherman down there. He had hair.
He had hair then, yes.
He had hair back then, and just got involved with that and got more and more interested in radio and TV and exactly how it works. So ran into Mr. Eric Moore, and he did me what I did all the other students I came in contact with. He pulled me to the side, and he said, I don't want to hear that you want communications as your major. I want to hear exactly what you want to do. Don't just say business administration, exactly what is it that you want to do. So I let him know. So sure enough, he laid that groundwork. Got very heavily involved with Mellow Moments at the time at WFSS. And that's when I started seeing all of this rap and up-tempo R&B come through, and I'm like, why aren't we playing this? You know, because I kind of got spoiled by well, I'm just going to say the other school in Greensboro, the Aggies.
Oh, you can mention that.
Okay, and I began to see how their radio station was and how in touch it was with their students, and it was right there on campus, while pleasing those outside of campus that were funding the station as well. So got heavily involved and started talking with Mr. Ross, who's my buddy, he's my frat, and he allowed me to start the Blue Wave Remix radio show. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you were a huge influence back then as well with your video show that you had. I remember I wasn't good enough to, I forgot exactly the club that was right across the street from where Tropical Images used to be. I forgot the name of it, but I remember walking in, but I remember seeing you on the cable carrier station, and you were a huge influence. Not just then, but even now. You know, as I see what you're doing now, and as I walk into this place, and I cannot believe, this was what I was telling the young lady in the production studio, it almost brings me to tears to walk in here and just see how far this place has come. You know, and a lot of people don't know, but Affion Crockett, we did his actual his audition tape for Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
Just a simple video. They needed to see him on video. Sent it to him. He and of course Jeff Anderson, where they were, you know, connected at the hit. Did that. He went on. Dennis L.A. White. He was on my street team that I had here on campus. This is when we had, and a lot of people don't know this, but Jay-Z actually came through Fayetteville, North Carolina. I think it was around 98, 99, something like that. But he wasn't really Jay-Z at the time. He was more jazzy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
And he came through, and believe it or not, he didn't open up. He wasn't the actual main group or main artist at the time.
Right.
But we were actually able to bring him through, and Run DMC was the actual headline at the time. But it's just to see what this place has come to from us. Literally, the way you guys edit your music on the computer now, and Ray Thomas, I'm sure he probably has some scars on his fingers where we used to have to use razor blades,
grease pencils,
on the grease pencils on the reel. And you remember, Paul, on the reel-to-reel machines that we used to have, and we used to have to splice and dice and all of that to put that show together. You know, so much easier now, of course. But just to see where this place has come, and we've had folks. We were able to get folks to come through. Shucky Ducky and Hamburger came through here. Keith Murray, you know, I'm sure a lot. Even though you're young, you still should know Keith Murray. But a lot of the Wu-Tang subgroups have come through, you know, to sign autographs, and that's what we became. We became that testing ground. 100,000 watts of black college radio. Was just absolutely amazing, and a lot of the major station record companies, they would say, okay, send this to WFSS, Fayetteville State, and test it, see how it goes. And Foxy really couldn't stand us because before the music even broke, folks, because they would hear it here, they would call Fox and say, hey, no, you got it, I know you have it, it's out, you need to play it. Well, no, we don't have it yet, you know. So this became my playground. You know, and we had the Blue Wave Remix radio show, we had the Blue Wave Remix video show, and then the actual, which was the dance show in the TV studio, and then we had the actual video show, and that's where stations would literally send me the videos that you would see on TV, but they wouldn't have any credits or anything on them. We would put our own on there. And again, it was because of you watching you, and I'm like, oh man, how's he doing? Oh God, how, you know, and it just inspired me more to get in that TV studio. And anyone that was around me then, I couldn't go anywhere without a camera in my hand, or a video camera in my hand. Doing music videos for a local artist that had everything but a video in their demo packet. A lot of artists. In the radio station over there in WFSS, we would bring, and it was kind of scary because we would bring a lot of the local rappers under one roof, and a lot of them made connections. But the scary part about it is, unfortunately, that in Fayetteville there's a lot of competition. Unfortunately, you know, when we really should be trying to help one another, because you would see it when. The club that was in the same parking lot as Tropical Images, I forgot the name of it.
Keep on forgetting Club Flavor, huh?
Club Flavor, I think. But a lot of the local groups that were performing, you could see the other groups that didn't get on stage. They were in the crowd hating, and I'm bringing these guys together, and I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen? I had 9-1 dialed already, and I'm ready to hit the 1 in case something popped off, you know. But everything worked out great. You know, it was absolutely amazing, and just to come back here and see everything that's happening now from where we were. I don't even think Jeff Anderson has seen this equipment. You know, he sat in with me on a couple of radio shows, and he's doing absolutely wonderful in Virginia right now. In fact, I think you guys took pictures. You were on your way. You were in Cali, I think.
Yeah, we're at the NAB in Vegas.
Right, Vegas. That's right. Yeah, so it's amazing, and I try to tell everyone that had some type of hand in on the other side of this building to at least come over and just see how far along this place has come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just been absolutely amazing, and it's absolutely beautiful in here. And what you're doing, you know, and the students is absolutely amazing, and it's necessary. That's the most important thing, is that it's necessary, because a lot of these students, just like when I was here, they're walking around and they're like, well, you know, I want to go into communications, but it's so broad.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to say, okay, this is, and what kind of helped me with that was Mr. Ross took me and Janine Kaiser to a Howard University job fair conference our senior year. And I went up there and my mind was blown I'm thinking I'm the man, and it was a whole lot of the man and women. You know what I mean? That were there. It was a lot of them.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, oh man, yeah, so maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was because of what I was seeing up there. And it just inspired me, and I was blessed to have had Fayetteville State to hire me right after I graduated in the telecom center to work under Bridget. So I was still able to stay in contact with the students. As I see them walking through the hallway like Mr. Moore saw me, and like you see a lot of the other ones, come here, what do you want to do? Tell me.
Right.
You know, and then you showed them exactly how to get there, you know. And it's just amazing just to kind of, like I said, just to walk in here and just see where the classrooms used to be, and now it's a Mac lab, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know, it's just amazing. It really, really. Even this very same studio that we're in was our classroom.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was storage. That's where we used to have the records and whatnot at. So, but it was just amazing. It's amazing. And like I said, I want to give hats off to you, man, because you're doing an absolutely wonderful job over here. And I'm not surprised, of course. You know what I mean? Some people say, oh, man, it's no congratulations with you because it was destined. It's done. You know, that's from when I first met Ray Thomas, that's what I'm saying now is exactly how it's been. You know, and that's why I just want to thank you for inspiring me to be the influence that I was with a lot of students here. Even in my freshman year, I'm helping seniors do their demo tapes and their air check tapes. I'm like, you're a senior and you need your air check, you need help with your air check tape now? You know, it's just absolutely amazing. So a lot of it was pretty much because of you.
Well, thank you, man.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
No problem.
But like I said, you laid